people, deal some damage, and that's actually the beauty of Storm Surge, right? You don't necessarily only want people kind of just lingering around in their 1-by-1s, praying that the circle moves to them. You're gonna see some fights that are gonna be forced to break out because players need to get above that, or they're gonna die. They're not gonna be able to make it.
Now moving towards the Dusty Divot Diner. You see Clicks
I didn't even know you could farm this.
Yeah, the very young duo from NA East, and you just said yourself, I didn't even know you could farm this.
I didn't even know you could get down there.
This is the beauty of it, right? These are the top players in the world showing off the little things that they know that really no one else can pick up on. Many teams are already stacking here as there's so many materials to be farmed up. And for a lot of players, Ninja, once they get max, they don't just stop there. They keep farming to have an excess for more if they need to expend a lot of materials quickly.
Yes.
On the bottom right of your screen, you see a fight going down in Salty Springs. A lot of grenades being thrown right there. That's going to be Serpent and Hype.
Serpent and Hype in a pretty decent spot. You're seeing, if you guys can look on the mini-map that we're staring at, every single team is now in the safe zone. Everyone is safe in the next circle. It is moving in. And double heavy sniper is in play. For those of you guys who do not know, a heavy sniper will take out a metal wall. It'll take out pretty much anything. It does 1,500 damage to structures. So if you have two teammates who have double heavy snipers, they can see a team, line up a shot of somebody hiding in a 1-by-1 and be able to take them out.
And that changes the game completely. Once you hear double heavy, you can no longer sit still ever. Or if you know where they're at, you have to make sure you have at least 2 walls of cover on that side to protect you from the inevitable double snipe. And when we say double snipe, it's as far as 1, 2, 3, shoot. And they both fire at the same time and catch you off guard.
There's absolutely zero time to react. And one thing you guys we've talked about are the rotation items. We got 6 shadows from this guy, and they have a baller, so they're sitting pretty. I think these guys are in a great spot.
Absolutely. And you see the zone did just update towards the northern side of this current storm. Storm Surge is now in play, so players beginning to drop. 80 players in total in this game. They will just rotate on out of here. Hype and Serpent don't want the fight. And that's Jay now quite weak. With Storm Surge beginning to tick in. Quentin and Lanouf now having to push a fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it just kind of smites them down from the heavens, and there they go. Getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force people into some pretty tricky situations. But again, man, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for teams, man. You don't want to be put in that situation where, you have to desperate and push. Maybe a duo that's better than you in combat. You know what I mean? And Airwax and Nikov
That's a replay.
Was that a replay? They just went down.
Airwax and Nikov are winners. Well, Airwax at least are back-to-back winner of the Pro-Am. Does go down. Airwax double qualified as well. Tough first game for them as they do go out quite early on. 71 players left in this game. 38 duos. Again, it's a slow crawl as everyone begins to drop. Have you ever seen anything like this in competitive
No, I think that the only time that we saw numbers like this were when the circles they didn't really chunk that much and they were more centralized in the beginning of competitive. So really no one had to rotate that much and no one had to fight. So now that these circles are really just kind of moving around the map, you can't really predict them. I mean, you're getting these players who have, again, the great aim and they're just beaming people who are focusing on trying to rotate into the circle. Now look, there's so many people coming from the south right now. And it's just free kills if you guys are in a top position with solid aim, man. You're going to Texture right now, already getting beamed. He's spamming the spacebar, trying to make it as difficult as possible to hit. He sees a lot of, already trying to figure out right now, where's he going to land? Look at all these people who are already boxed up. They're already creating these tunnels. More shots coming down. And he's going to be able to make it. 8 grenades. So that's going to be, if he can get in a position where some players are already getting focused on the outside, 8 grenades, he might be able to clean up those kills too.
Yep, that's right there. They do box up in time. Did take some shield damage, but thankfully they have some minis to replenish that in just a few brief moments as there's Eclipse now using them. He's got his teammate right next door as well. Medkit, so they're going to pop that too. Every little bit of HP matters. Saving the campfire for the late game, it appears.
Definitely got to save the campfire.
In the elimination feed right there. Here's a look at Mongrel earlier with his duo Mitro. They're set up currently in this zone. 68 players left.
Love watching this guy play, man. I'm serious. Here's, you just check his inventory. Only got 2 guns right now, which is inventory rifle and a combat shotgun. So he has no spray guns. All right, spray guns are anything to an SMG, tactical assault rifle, SCAR, anything like that. You've got to have a gun that can shoot pretty quickly to kill players and hit players through their 1-bys. Very difficult. Look at that healing too, though. Yeah. 5 slurps, 2 slurps. 5 chug splashes.
And they already have a slurp ticking. This is insane.
They're super close to the zone as well. They don't have to move too far.
Yep, and material-wise, look at that, 135 total builds. They're in a fantastic position to make some noise in game number 1. We'll definitely keep up to date with them. The slipstream slowly inching towards where it begins to shut down Ninja, but with so many slipstreams still available in this current zone, a lot of players are going to use that to rotate on in freely without using launch pads or the shadow bombs. There's your whole map right there, the eastern side of the zone. None of these players really going to be into play. They're going to have to inch a little bit more towards Loot Lake if they want to be safe.
Some of the best, I mean, look, these are the best players in the world, and look how close they are to one another, man. I'm so excited when they actually have to force into these fights. The Storm's going to start pushing them. Look how, I'm sorry, man, I just can't, man. You guys notice also, Stinks, man, these players are so talented. It's going to be so hard to spray through their walls and actually deal damage to them. Yep. So you need things like grenades, like Stinks, right? Little fart bombs is what I like to call them, to force people out of their 1x1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1x1s to dodge the Stinks.
You see the Stinks right now going down on Mongrel, and Mongrel gets immediately ripped in two as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive
with good rotation, luckily.
Definitely has a bunch to to be able to play with. The next Storm Surge has begun to kick on in. Intro. 12 damage below, will have to begin to put shots down range. The zone pushing as well. So in this position, with the zone at their back, Mitro's goal, spray at players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right out of it. Mitro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then once in duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in. Everyone knows that.
Very little ammo, though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still, though, only 80, meaning combined between the two, they really only have about 150 shots to work with. The zone still pushing. 61 players left. Reminder, folks, this is game number 1 of 6 today in the duos competition. Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall and he wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space. Will he be able to go?
He's going to be able to pop that slurp. He's got
the storm surge on.
He's trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to need to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. As players are continuing to drop all around, but Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through the Storm Surge. Fantastic composure. Again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more Dubs. The duo still
okay,
down.
So now finally above. Finally above. And guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. But he has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out. He dropped the shotgun.
Okay, there you go.
Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys, the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This storm surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out. 52 players left. And this is where things are about to get serious, guys.
Thomas dropped some ammo right there for his teammate, Inclusia. And you see Thomas, that epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is so good about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head. Boom. You're going to get that headshot. You're going to get 80 points of damage. And there's now the upgraded versions, the Legendary and the Epic, have 10 shots instead of 8. So, I mean, it just packs a punch, man. It can really catch players off guard. And that's exactly what you're going to need when you're playing against these top players who will literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle. So this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
And we know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the shadow bomb, and does land. Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge of it. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. Will just stay boxed up for a brief moment. As now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. That, all right. Bongo, unfortunately, do we still know if Nitro's still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had a high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off him or have a rocket launcher to just take him out of it.
He's just so weakened. Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one. But 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, this is all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Nitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try it. Look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We've made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro, Mongrel's duo, was all by himself and very early on. Still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
Mitro just got a double, I think.
Mitro
5 limbs.
Tries to get it done. Not enough. Zayt and Saf, 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will!
Zayt and Saf had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction. They know how key that was. And I've watched so many games of competitive Fortnite, Ninja. They were the only duo left with still like 18 players remaining. Yeah. When they get the high ground like that, they send 1 player down to get close. Scarlet was already weak, and there's just no shot. In the end, the veteran players of Zayt and Saf take game number 1. And, you know, Ninja, that was a big topic of conversation. Players with LAN experience, players who've been around the Fortnite competitive scene at these major events for a long time. Will they let the nerves get to them? Guess what? The answer is no. Zayt and Saf take game number 1.
Kept their composure. It was absolutely incredible to watch, man. And seriously, these guys have been absolutely dominant in the World Cup qualifiers online. And it's only fair that they continue to show their dominance here at the actual World Cup stage.
Brilliant performance. You know that their game plan is always last as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they made it through those storm surges, even with them not getting very aggressive, they had 0 limbs down to those final few moments. Mr. Savage and Benji Fisher, we have to talk about them for a second as well. The European young duo. They were on the high ground. It was looking good, Ninja, but so many players focusing them, the shockwave grenades as well, and they had no healing left.
It's unfortunate, man. We have a group full of these players who are literally the best in the world. They know exactly how to win, right? So if they don't have the high ground, they know that whenever there is a moment that they have to shoot the high ground out with rockets, shockwave grenades. I think that's actually what happened. I think someone shockwaved up and knocked them off the high ground.
Yep.
But when you have shield like Zayt and Nafdate at the end there, and that high ground, I mean, it's over, man.
What a sigh of relief.
Incredible first game. And we're only just getting started.
We're only just getting started. Remember, 6 games being played today in the duos competition, in which $15 million will be rewarded. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, except with solos. So you want to stay glued to the streams here for the Fortnite World Cup Finals, live from New York City. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get involved in the conversation. Send Ninja and I your thoughts after game number 1. Who surprised you? What are you looking forward to in games 2 through 6? For me, other things I noticed, man, you've got to be on your A game. When it comes down to taking note of where you are with the storm surge, those were longer storm surges that have lasted than I've ever seen before.
I've honestly never seen storm surge affect the game so much. Because here we are having 80 people left after the second circle. So, you know what I mean? And these guys, they're not going to let you hit them. You know what I mean? And if you want to put shots on these guys, it's going to be when they're flying in the air, rotating, which you also expose yourself to a sniper shot. You know,
absolutely.
High risk, high reward, man. Right? Let's see how these guys change. I wonder if the guys who did get hurt a lot by the storm surge, are they going to make changes in the second game? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to deal some damage as they rotate? That's what I want to know.
That's a great way to think of it. I know there were so many people that want to give their thoughts on these games, but over at Unreal Island, we've got our very own Sundown with his thoughts on game 1.
Thank you so much, Courage and Ninja. And the first match of the duos competition is over, and the Victor Royale's experience wins out. We talked about Energy Zate and Ghost Saf and how they've been playing so long together, and that endgame was a prime example of textbook Zate and Saf. We're going to re-roll it one more time, and we're going to break down kind of how they were able to keep the control. Now, pay attention right away. You can see on the backside, Saf has one angle while Zate is going forward, and they're moving back over the tarps they've already established, but the angles they take make sure they're covering everything. They hear the shots below, they're putting the fire down towards them, and Scarlet is able to pick up Mitro, but doesn't have enough to get out. Zate and Saf, 5 eliminations, Victory Royale, 15 points, showing that their competitive experience, their experience on stage and at major LAN events is winning out right now. They say, nerves? What nerves? We might as well be playing at home on our own stations because they are just that good. Match 1 is over. Time to get back over the stage for match 2. Ninja and Courage, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sundown. Great stuff as always there from Unreal Island outside of the venue, enjoying the event themselves. But again, game number 1 in the books. Obviously, so many updates to see exactly where we stack up. In the end, those final moments can be so hectic. So before we hop into game 2, we will have a standings update for you all at home. Who do you think's up top of it right now? Well, guess what? It's Saf and Zate, but...
And Benji, Mr. Savage, man. Just incredibly clutch solo moves and plays.
Both of our predictions.
Both of our predictions. And they're still up there. Guess what? Imagine when they're healthy and when they actually get some good rotation items. I'd love to see how they're going to play in the late game, man.
Placement points so key. You did a great job pointing out Mitro at the end. Not only does he stay alive, not only does he perfectly use his materials and his movement items, but he somehow finds 5 more limbs, putting his team from probably an abysmal game 1 to top 3 in our leaderboards. Again, here are your standings from game number 1. Dubs and Mega, they wind up making it through as well. And that's because of Mega staying alive, too.
Absolutely. Incredibly talented duo, man. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what Aiden can do and Sean. So hopefully they step it up in this next game. Game 2 is about to get on its way, man. Are you ready?
I am ready. Ladies and gentlemen, in this sold-out arena, are you guys ready for game number 2? Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle bus has launched. Game number 2 of the Fortnite World Cup Duo Finals is underway.
Again, I'm just going to keep saying it, the most nerve-wracking part of any competition, but definitely Fortnite for me, is the second you jump out of that bus.
Yep.
Right? Once you hit the ground, once these players hit the ground, they're going to definitely have, hopefully, less nerves, going to get back into the flow, back into the farming mentality. And man, I'm looking at these llamas on my screen. I'm just hoping that they find them. There's nothing greater than finding the new upgraded llamas at 350 mats.
Dude, they're insane. And they're everywhere. And look, wait, can we look at the map? Look at the north side. You've got 3 llamas in a very small area.
Llamas.
And many players have gotten better at spotting llamas from very, very far away.
I mean, the one thing I was telling my teammate Malachi, I was like, listen, man, sometimes you just actually have to tell yourself, hey, we should probably look for llamas as we're flying in, because, you know, usually you're looking for players who's going to be landing next to you. But if you actually keep an eye out for that adorable pink, purple, and blue llama.
And there's one.
I mean, look, you're just going to get rewarded with shield, rotation. There's Shadow Bomb Storm, campfires, minis. I mean, these are incredibly valuable.
And remember, materials get capped at 500 of each type. So when you get 350, it's done its job for you. You can spend much less time looting and, farming, and much more time looting. And look at Zayt perfectly using the Shadow Bomb Ninja. For players at home who are wondering how he just used it for way more than the 6 seconds it actually lets you use it for, explain a little bit of staying on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, all you have to do is just continue that jump animation. That's going to trigger the double jump. And as long as you don't touch any solid ground, you're going to be able to continue to double bounce back and forth, man. It's an incredible use of the Shadow Bombs, and you're probably going to see a lot of players do something like that in the late game off of other people's builds, and which is way more difficult to do that off a mountain, by the way.
For sure, as we now take a look. That storm is landing side of the map, and this storm is very far. Great point to bring up there. We can see on our side, the zone right now basically gets cut off at Dusty Divot and Neo Tilted, and the rest of the north side of the map are in play. So everyone near the middle and south side will have to move, and you see in the elimination feed very early on, Elevate does get cut down. So a tough start for the duo from 100 Thieves right there, as you've got to wonder if Arkram's still alive. Either way, though, Daedra and M11Z
looks like they have players
down in Loot Lake, Lucky Landing, and they do have a duo nearby.
Looks like they're trying to obviously back away while continuing to farm up. Lucky Landing is not really a 4-person landing. When more than two people land here, one of them is going to be leaving a little bit handicapped. And Yuang in a fight right now, popping that last big shield, so all of his damage that he will take from now on will be permanent unless he gets an elimination and gets...
Look at how good these stink grenades are right now. Scram and Mexi have lost so much HP off the start of this one just from getting ticks. The spray does come on through. A third party, though, beginning to shoot down on a Yuang. So another player putting their attention towards this fight.
Trying to line of sight
at Snobby, but KBB does go down. It's now Yuang all by himself, and no materials left, Ninja.
He can't even take a wall.
They're really, this is an abysmal position to be in. Yuang knows that, trying to fall back to his teammate to maybe sneak a revive, but I just don't see.
A lot of these players really are kind of hesitant. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily want to push. There is a third party now. They don't have a lot of shield.
Are they going to get it off
the right play? They're going to push forward. Yuang no shield, and he's going to get the double. He's going to get the double and the revive on KBB. And there was some delicious shockwave grenades that just slid down the ramp.
Yuang takes them down. The 4 builds left. I believe there was some help. The shots that came in from that third team getting nearby, which weakened them at first. Yuang gets the cleanup on the last one right there. What a swing for the duo. Shot does come in onto Keys, though, as another fight going down just outside the desert side of the map. Keys and Slacks up against 2.
Running out of materials already, and guess what? These guys are at the farthest point of the storm.
Yep.
So this is not, they can't afford this fight, right? The longer this takes, they're not going to be able to get materials. They're going to be burning all the materials in this fight right now. So they're definitely going to need these elims to make up for it.
That was
and he took the knock on Landjock.
And Landjock and Punisher went down early last game as well, and it looks like Landjock will suffer the same fate here.
Upgraded combat shotgun, you know he's going to take that. Punisher trying to make some plays here. Still, now it is a 2-on-1 situation. Just need to play the numbers advantage. And again, Storm is about to start moving, so they're going to have to make some plays sooner rather than later.
No ammunition. Very few builds. No shield. This spells disaster, and Punisher goes down, and there's the frustration in the player camera right there. Slacks and Keys, 2 quick eliminations. But you mentioned they can't afford to do that. It takes so much time in that fight. They've got to go very far still. Now over to Neo Tilted. Clicks and Skeptic in a fight.
Got some shield. Doesn't necessarily want to use this mini to only get a 10. And he's looking like he's trying to obviously take some all to help his teammate out. No, he's getting taken. With the trap kill, he's going to get the knock. Unbelievable, incredible place. Bad Sniper goes down, and now he's continuing to branch out. When you guys are in fights like this, you always want to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is branch out, continue to build these little 1x1s with pyramids, try to confuse your opponents of where you actually are healing up.
Skeptic, just 8 builds left. They're trying to stay alive right now. They do have the number advantage. Clips has time to pop 1 mini, and it looks like they're going to go for it right now. They made the conscious decision to try to build out, but no. They back up for a moment.
Finally gets a shotgun.
Yep. Shotgun picked up. Grenades now as well. They want to go for the second elimination. And
we take the L. Oh my God, we got the trap
the L in real life. Did he just take the L in real life? Homie, this is land. This dude's going to come over. No, I was kidding.
40?
But the Stinks come on in.
Stinks coming in, 22 health left. Campfire down. He has.
Oh, and look who's here.
Third party. Hello.
Look who's here. NA puts up the take the L, and EU says, no, no, no. This is the World Cup, baby. I'm going to show which continent is best. Mitro and Mongrel, full HP, and they storm roll through.
Duel in for Mitro.
Clicks
Still
right
players
there.
Down low. Wow, incredible. Let's look at that kit. Gold scar, gold combat, heavy shotgun, or I'm sorry, heavy sniper rifle for taking opponents' walls. Look at, they're just stealing and bum rushing, and that's going to be it.
And there's no shot right there. Skeptic. You saw, hey, putting on a show. I love it. The man does YouTube for a reason. But then also a fantastic player. I think speaks a little bit too soon. Aiden now on your screen. Does knock one. Hasn't finished the elimination yet, so still will gain 50 HP if he can get the full. There it is. Now a 2 versus 1. Aiden and Sean. Look at how weak Sean is, though, Ninja.
Sean has absolutely no health. A little bit of shield. Hopefully we're going to drop some minis here. Aiden being the good team that he is. I'm sure he's calling it out right now. But it is also a 2-on-1, and they don't know, we don't know how weak this guy is right now, but if he is weak, they're going to try to trade. And there's a double shotgun shot for over 21 white. Players no shield left are going to try to put the pressure on. Sean has no health, and look how aggressive they're being. They're both one hit. They could actually grab.
They're going for it. They're saying, no, you would have thrown the trap down by now. They're calling
and there it is.
And look at the take from Aiden. The jump out to the side, and they'll be rewarded with shields, with materials. And look, Aiden actually, there was 2 big shields.
Yeah.
Aiden's got the full health.
That's incredible, man.
You see the stats so far this game. Aiden has done 434 damage, has taken 312, and he's near backup to max health. I know Aiden is a crowd favorite here. Every time the camera goes on, there's a big cheer from this sold-out arena.
For those of you guys who do not know, the Storm Circle is about to update right now. We just saw our second one, forcing everyone out of the north and east side of the map. And also, guess what? Every single llama was found.
Yep.
All 5 llamas have been found, so we have some probably high material players right now.
A lot of rotation.
Oh my god, I can't even. Freaking out, man.
You're getting into it.
Looks
right
like
now.
a lot of people.
I love it.
Yeah, we're looking around. They're all gone. There's only one airdrop that's left, which means a lot of players. It's very difficult, man. Going for airdrops is super risky, but it looks like everyone at the World Cup here is taking their chances.
And what's kind of funny with this zone, as you see it on the bottom right side of your map, the slipstreams are there to basically help everyone get from the southeast, east, and south side of the map easily into this zone. So if you kind of sit outside and wait for players to move in from the slipstream, you might be able to deal a lot of damage. And remember, you might think, oh, well, there's no way you're going to get that elimination. I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying free damage for Storm Surge when that comes into play, because it is going to happen very, very soon here. We're about a minute away.
It literally looks like we've been watching action. But there's 84 teams, 84 players left still.
Yep. I guess that's a testament to our observers backstage. Great stuff to them. Sizlucky does take a bit of storm damage right there. Chug splashes in the inventory. And Ninja,
like a dolphin.
Chug splashes have came into this game and they've completely taken competitive by storm. Are they the best healing item currently in this meta?
I think that, there's a lot of items that get added where, not everyone is all unanimous about it, right? Some people do not like it. But let me tell you something about these splashes. I don't think I've ever seen more positive, reactions from an item being added than when chug splashes were added. I mean, nothing but positivity on Twitter. It was absolutely incredible. I woke up to some delightful posts. Delightful just some delightful posts.
Yeah.
Those of you guys who don't know what they are, each one splash, they come in packs of 2. You can stack up to 6. They give you 20 health, 4 shield, whatever you're missing.
And they're instant. You throw them down the ground, and they can be used to heal you and your teammates around you, as well as, if you really want to be a troll, your enemies that you knocked. Here are Mongrel and Mitro in the zone, and you talked about this inventory. I'm going to come out and say it right now. There is no way someone in this lobby has a better inventory than what Mongrel has right now. And when you come into this, they were already in your top 3. So they're in a position right now, Ninja, where if they have a pop-off performance right here, with only 6 games being played after the first 2, they could be your leaders.
Absolutely. I mean, they were only 2 points away from first. And they didn't even win the game. And Mongrel went down early before placement points were even rewarded. So Sean in another fight with Quentin and his squad. Sean trying to take some walls here. And he's out of light ammo.
Out of materials.
And he's out of materials. So he can't even spray right now. The only thing you can do is spray an AR, and that's not really going to be effective against top players if you're actually trying to take walls.
Well, the player tried to drop a trap down low to bait Aiden, but Aiden does not fall for it. This seasoned veteran trying to cover his back. Players beginning to spray on through. Stink bombs dropping, and there's one a limb. Another shot comes in.
Gets his shield. That's why he went for the thirst.
Yep.
And grabbed the mats. 365 mats now. He is, or more than that. He's got.
Get out of the stinks. They've got to get out of the stinks.
So weak.
Look at how weak they are.
And don't they can get both Sean and Aiden. I think that's exactly what they should. They split up. Now he's trying to take them one by one. He's getting pushed by more than one person.
Quick reaction from Aiden, but this looks like it could spell disaster for the duo. Damage dealt 639. He does go down, though the quick edit comes through.
Making plays. Now it's up to Sean. Can he clutch it? Only 2 HP. Got some minis. Picked up some ammunition now for his minigun. But looks like Spades is just way more healthy. And obviously there's 3 other players who are around him as well. So what's he going to do? Looks like he's going for high ground. Smart play, but he's out of mats.
Oh, no, he does. He's got wood. He's good. Yeah, we both freaked out.
Going to put himself in a nice pyramid. For those of you guys who don't know what a brick or a metal pyramid.
Big thing to note. Look at his zone. He has to push. That's it. He has to push. He has 52 health, but the zone is right at his back. He's got to go. Don't even worry about Storm Surge. They're 446
aside as well. Has a shot, and he's going to be taken down. I mean, that's just the worst position to be in any competitive game, is being weak, low materials, low health, and being forced to push in.
Every time you watch Aiden and whoever he's playing with, they are always the most aggressive, it appears. Yes. If you remember the famous moment, I think for me, arguably one of the most famous moments in Fortnite competitive history was the Nick Merckx and Aiden duo, where they made it into the big bonus about a year ago.
Oh my God.
And a crowd popped off. Well, they're always scrappy getting into eliminations. Here, the stat popped up for a second. Aiden and Sean had done 680 damage in the game. The average in the lobby was 80. They were 600 above in this lobby already. Unfortunately, though, when you fight that much, there's a higher chance of you going down. Speaking of potential fights, here's Sizlucky and Brush, who we saw earlier on in the last game at Fatal Fields struggle to stay alive. Now in another tough spot, as they're both low on shields and low on health.
Decent rotation items, 2 shadows on the launch pad. Again, I always want to keep stressing that, because if you guys have some launch pads, even one shadow can get you into another zone, right? Yep. It's going to hopefully get you those placement points that you need, or even put you in a position to get some eliminations. But yeah, as you said with Aiden, we mentioned earlier, are people going to change how they're going to play, right? Are they going to do anything different here at the World Cup? And guess what? I'm pretty sure we can say that Aiden's squad is not doing anything different. They're being incredibly aggressive. They're putting the damage down. And unfortunately, there were just too many players who took advantage that they were weak.
And that was the top 5 leading into this game. You see it updated again right there on your screen of where the leaderboard is at the moment. Mitro and Mongrel staying alive,
in a great spot,
holding this pyramid edit. And for people at home who might not know, he's not exposed right there, right, Ninja? He's peeking through his build.
Correct. As you guys are peeking through a pyramid, you hit edit on it, you cannot be seen, right? And you can also see through it. It's a very amazing feature. Fortnite Battle Royale.
Fortnite Battle Royale, the Ultimate Battle Royale experience.
Ultimate Battle Royale experience, man. Blue T is in the storm, taking damage, a lot of damage, and he's still going to be rotating. Rogue taking damage as well. Thomas going to have to make some plays. And there goes Road. He actually just got knocked. 66 players remain. And this storm is kind of moving a little bit away from Pleasant Park. But once you have a high ground mountain in play, I mean, I'm wondering if it's going to go north.
There's 3 high ground mountains in play. And
really mixes it up late game.
And a drone ship that people can wind up going on top of. And those are brilliant to use.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys can get up on top of those, guess what? You have ultimate high ground on the map without having to place any mats.
Yep.
It's incredible. You can't get sniped from above, and you can deal as much damage as you want. Also, it's incredibly difficult to shoot players that are up there.
100%.
But it's important to know that after the 5th circle closes in, those air vents will stop working. So if you don't have any rotation to get down, glide or redeploy, anything like that, yikes. That's a massive yikes. So you have to pray that someone puts a launch pad down underneath it somehow.
Yep.
And go for it.
Yeah,
just risk it all.
Most of these teams will mess that up. Now, we talked about our Game 1 winners, the team that took home the Victory Royale, which is, again, 10 placement points, the max you can get for placement in these games. It was Zayt and Saf, and they're currently set on up in this zone for the moment.
Did they just get the zone as well? Are they the yellow team in the minimap? I mean, they're close enough for sure. I can see. I think, no, they got to rotate a little bit, but look, they got 4 shockwave grenades.
Yep. And they'll be all right. They'll be able to make it happen.
Airwax and Peacock, man. Here we go. They have to rotate the farthest. Look how many stack players are on this side of the lobby right now, and they're all going to have to move very soon.
Yeah. Arkram and Falconer have a tough rotation ahead. Slacks and Keys. Watch them fight a little bit earlier on against Landjock and
pop those heels till his teammate comes in.
Yep.
No, he missed one.
He did miss it. No, teammate's full. Teammate's full. Don't worry.
It doesn't matter. Geez.
Teammate's full.
I was playing with Myth the other day, and he was using a lot of chug splashes without me, so hey, I'm really sensitive on it.
We'll let you and Myth handle that one. As Again, it seems like some tension there, but we continue to move on in this fight. This is game 2 of 6, folks. The matches will be going on throughout the day. 62 players left in this one, 35 duos. And you see Arkram and Falconer. It looks like they did a duo shockwave to try to fly across the map together.
Good teamwork.
As the frantic rotation begins to move on in, more Storm Surge will soon begin to come into play as well.
Jack, I have a question for you, man.
Yes.
Once these circles start closing in, they're so small, what do you think is the play? To rotate in right away once it's revealed if you're far out, or to wait and be the last team?
For me, it completely comes down to what you have left, what you have in your inventory, where you are at, the leaderboards as well. If I'm in a position where I know I need to make some ground up on the leaderboards, I want to rotate early and try to begin to spray back on the opponents to get some free eliminations.
Yes.
If you get the zone on you, you begin to just build on up and get that height so you can spray on down as well. In this one, though, again, all comes down to rotation. If you have nothing to rotate with and you're far away, I think you play late and hope someone else drops a launch pad near you and use that community pad to your advantage.
Yeah, we're looking over here at Ewing, 3 eliminations, sitting here with some very good materials, and definitely a very delicious loadout. Anyone with a heavy sniper and a blue SMG in a combat.
And remember, he started the game at Snobby Shores with that clutch when KBB did go down, so they're still in this one because
still has that beautiful blue combat where he clutched it with, man.
Yes, he does, and all the materials he could ever ask for it. Nearly 100 builds in this one.
You see they're marking right now. I think they have a double heavy sniper combo.
They're either marking double heavy or they're saying, focus this, the zone's closing there.
We're going to find out soon enough. It literally looks like he's marking exactly. He's trying to look and see. Yep,
they do a double heavy sniper. And Ninja called it, the man knows. They see one, and oh!
You guys saw the pyramid. This is exactly what Jack talked about earlier. You need 2 walls, 2 layers protecting you from one of those walls so that double sniper will not take you down.
But they've got the tools, the key to open all doors, as I put it. And this zone, Ninja,
it just moved over a mountain, man.
It just moved onto the side of the mountain, so high ground will be in play. But at the same time, Ninja, half of the low ground still in play, so it's not as bad a position for the low ground players. Here's a look at Mongrel and Mitro. Remember, Mongrel did go down early on in the last game. He's got to back on up because he's burning through materials very, very quickly. They're far above this Storm Surge, so they're good for the moment, and there's the replenish from his teammate in Mitro. 64 total builds left.
Always see them doing this. They always split half and half match with one another, and then they go and collect the others, and it's just a perfect way of making sure that you guys have equal material.
Look at how weak Sap is. Sap just sneaking up through with that shadow bomb. The spray coming in from Mongrel. Stink bomb is hit as well. Everyone focusing these players on the outside. They've got the minigun firing too. The lobby now picking up quick as we move into our pit zone.
The storm is closing in, and that's going to be forcing everyone to get into where the safe zone is right now. It is moving in towards Pleasant Park. Guys, this is absolutely insane. 51 players still remain, by the way, in a circle this small. They're just trying to get as many limbs possible as people are rotating in.
Mitro on the bottom right of your screen with that minigun has 631 bullets. Just sprayed down with Mongrel in a fight. Gets one player weak, but does have to back on him.
Didn't get the clutch. Someone else stole the kill from him.
Mitro gets chucked as well.
Still have a launch pad, but again, when you're in a situation like this, low ground, they're getting sprayed with nothing but grenade launcher shots and frag grenades, and they're both going to be eliminated, and Mongrel also, Airwax just went down as well.
And you see Cease in the elimination feed. Does look like, remember early on, Elevate did go down there.
That loot looks so delicious.
They go for it. Zane Sap, do they do it?
Do you go for it? There's a launch pad there and so many materials.
This is game-changing loot right now. They've got the builds to go for it if they want.
They're going to do it.
They're going to make the play.
A gold combat shotgun too, man.
Zane and Sap
uncontested.
That's one of those risk versus reward plays that can help set them up for 2 victory royales in a row.
Mongrel and Mitro's loot too, man.
Oh, that was
making a
statement. And we know that was juicy loot.
Yeah, they're making a statement saying, listen, we're from NA, we're here to play. Taking out you don't even know they took them out, but they're definitely taking their loot.
Yeah, for sure, as they are still above this.
Still great rotation items too. They both each have a launch pad, both have 2 shotgun grenades, and they're going to go. He didn't get it though. They try to get both at the same time. Going to be flying, and this is it. Another massive rotation going to be taken to the center of Pleasant Park. They're 167 damage above the threshold, so they're looking pretty good right now. The question is, are they going to keep mid ground, go for low ground, high ground? What's the play?
They didn't get the full launch pad. He might have to use his own. Yes, he does again, and that actually works out. He hits his head on something, which takes him down from having to, fly all the way up and float and get beat. They're going to challenge high ground right now. Zayt and Sap looking to do what many would think was impossible, which is win back-to-back games in the stack lobby. Just saw Falconer in the feed as well. Arkram with an elimination too. 19 duos left as we're moving towards the placement points, Ninja, and these duos know exactly that. 3 points if you make it into the top 15, which could be the difference between first and dead last.
What are they going to do? Are they going to prioritize rotation in and not taking damage, or are they going to try to play it a little risky and go for the elims? If you're going to be going for elims, definitely open up to a lot of spray, shotgun shots, AR shots, someone suddenly taking the high ground on you. So it all depends on how their play style can unfold, man.
Many more duos remaining in this game, unlike the last one. Zate with another elimination right there on a KBB. You got Snappy and Red Rush on the high ground. And Snap
over the play. The high ground play.
The high ground. Take, will he get it?
He's gonna get it. He has it.
Zate's got high ground. Zate has high ground as they go to try to push for 2 victory royales in a row. Saf is there as well, but Snappy just appeared right behind Saf and shotgunned him down right there.
Zate right now is going to have to concede to the high ground, giving it to Snappy. And he's just going to have to stay alive as long as possible, try to get some placement points. He is obviously a talented player, top player. He can definitely make something happen, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do.
Cease has been by himself since the first moment of this game when Elevate went down at 98 players remaining, and he's somehow still alive. There goes Mega. You've got Darox and Item on the low ground. Vorwin getting chopped down as well. Zate with about 100 HP. Uh-oh. Here comes Vinny and Zexro. They're trying to challenge for the high ground.
Keys right now being held in the storm with 5 elims. He's going to be eliminated from the back. Zate taken down as well. Snappy still with the high ground. Zex and Vinny and TSM crew looking good, and they're going to take it. They just took high ground. Snappy gave it to him.
And they just got the high ground. Great use of the shockwave as well. Vinny as well as Zexro on hype for the moment. 5 eliminations so far. They're putting their names in the hat for potential victory royale in this game.
They go down, right? They want those elims.
Vorwin now with eliminations back to back. 4 players left in this one. Zexro and Vinny spraying from the high ground. It's a 2 versus 1. The player right on the edge of the zone. The shockwave into the air. And he's going to drop on down to hype for the moment. The spray coming on in. It's not enough. Zexro and Vinny.
TSM takes game 2 with style. Both alive. You love to see it.
The victory royale and 7 eliminations.
Look at that.
Vinny's hyped and Zexro looks like
he was stunned.
They forgot his fries on a fast food order. Why am I thinking about food?
Oh my, you know, Jack, it's pretty expected at this point. But God,
it's unreal.
2 NA teams have taken game 1 and game 2, and honestly, I think that we can all say that the teams hyped up the most have been easy. But guess what? Mongrel and Mitro, man, they've also been performing well. They still have so many points from eliminations.
Yep.
Oh man, what a great shotgun shot. They were perfectly in sync. They're even jumping and shotgunning at the same time. Vinny pop off, man. You love the pop off.
So Zexro's about to start cranking 90s or default dancing in the lobby.
Like he's trying to talk about literally what are they going to do in the next game.
Yeah.
Like that's what that focus is. That reminds me, I've been in this situation before. He grabbed his hand and shook it for himself, man. That's a top teammate, man. Great synergy.
What a start to today's competition. The energy in here is insane. I am looking around and there are thousands and thousands of people filling up the Arthur Ashe Stadium live from New York City. Again, my name Jack Courage Dunlop, joined by Tyler Ninja Blevins for what is the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. $30 million on the line this weekend. Millions will be tuning on in from across the world. There's so many ways to watch, and we're just 1/3 of the way done with today's action, and it's already been fantastic.
Don't even want it to end, man. I could be here all night. These games are incredible.
Yep.
And just listen, if you guys are watching at home, you guys want to be here, right? You guys want to be competing. Take notes.
Yeah.
Watch these players. Watch how they build. Watch the fights that they take, the way they rotate. And we'll see you guys here next year, man.
Well, guess what? Game number 2 ended with style with the North American duo of Vinny and Zexro taking it there on the floor with none other than Jordan Fisher.
Thank you so much, Courage. I appreciate that. NA showing up and taking care of business. Games 1 and 2, Vinny and Zexro with a fantastic in, both together, which is an incredible thing, right? Walk me through the just in-game for you guys.
So the comp's kind of hectic because of all the noise, but we're just really good at playing together. Like, we're the longest duo that have played together, so yeah, we just know how to.
Great. Fantastic work, guys. Back to you, Ninja and Courage. JD!
Thank you so much, Jordan. The duo of Vinny and Zexro, you know, they've always been known as being so aggressive.
Yeah.
From all the times we've seen them in these competitive tournaments. While they might be some younger players, they've definitely been around the block here in competitive Fortnite.
Again, you just see them, just like a lot of other talent here, always at the top of the duo qualifiers every single week. Even though they already qualified, they continue to keep playing, and practicing. Guess what? They just took the game number 2. You got to be pumped right now, man. Once you win one of these games, you can't let up, though. Again, and that's why I love that energy. Zex was immediately just, I felt like he was just talking about, what are we going to do next? Hey, man, good job. We won that. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Right? How are we going to change, maybe even do better somehow, get more limbs in Game 3?
No, for sure. And they know that. They're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. Folks, we have our standings after game number 2. Where are things playing on out? It is still Zayt and Sap at the top. Dubs and Mega at 18 points in second. Zexro and Vinny, with that performance, go from 0 points up to 17, Ninja. And that is the beauty of how this plays on out. Anyone could have a pop-off game and come right back. Mongrel and Mitro still in your top 5, as well as Serpent Hype, Darox, Item, Forwin and Tux, Snappy and Red Rush all there. While Zayt and Sap do have a nice little lead right now, nobody is safe from the rest of this lobby. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, just take a look at the points, Courage. You got 11 points, right? Benji and Mr. Savage, they fell out of the top 10. But look at that. Storm and Epic Whale, 12 points. Daedra, M11Z, 12 points, 12 points, 12 points. All they need is 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 extra eliminations right there, and boom, they'll move up 6 places.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's still anyone's game, all right? 2 pop-off games, 1 pop-off game, boom, you're already in the top 5.
Remember, if you get 50th place or 11th place, from that whole time in between, you win $100,000 as a duo.
Still.
But if you go from 10th up to 1st, it jumps all the way to $3 million. So everyone, eyes on that top prize. We are just 1/3 of the way through the action today, but I know we've had a lot of fun up here, Ninja. What an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen,
Happy to be here, man.
Can we give a round of applause to Ninja for hopping in for some guest casting? What a great job.
Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
That's going to do it for us for now up here on the caster desk, but I know Zeke is down on the floor with some notes for you all.
Thank you guys so much, man. What an awesome first 2 set of games from Sap and Zayt locking down the lobby to Zexro and Vinny just coming in super clutch. And of course, guys, you've been here. We got to see Ninja. He got to go ahead and commentate some games. So what I want to know from you is, have you guys had a good time? Have you enjoyed it? If so, let's just let me hear you. You know, that was so. Let's pretend I didn't ask. Have you guys been enjoying yourselves? That's what I'm talking about. Way to give back to you guys than to teach you how to say Fortnite from all around the world. So in just a moment, we're going to take a look at a video, and I can't wait because this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. A lot of work went into making this happen, so I can't wait for us to watch this together. Let's take a look.
Hello Fortnite fam.
포트나이트 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
Vi är Fortnite TV.
Jag åker till Storio.
Vad kör Fortnite folk?
Jag är fan du Fortnite.
What's up, Fortnite fam?
Fortnite 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
What's up Fortnite fam?
Hey, 저는 Fortnite fan.
What's up Fortnite fam?
Was geht Fortnite Freunde?
冠军等着我们。
What's up Fortnite fam?
Yo, what's up Fortnite fam? Are you trying to do the floss?
Sorry, I'm texting.
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up Fortnite fam?
E aí galera do Fortnite?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
G'day Fortnite fam.
Bonjour, comment ça va les fans de Fortnite?
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Cheer up Fortnite fam. What up boys?
That was even better than I thought it would be. Just embrace it. We, as a collective, are the Fortnite fam. Get used to it. We're here to stay. Now, guys, there's a few more things I want to take a look at before we hop back into the next game. One of the things to kind of do if you're here or if you're at home, you've been watching, Ninja actually had a pretty dope hoodie, a World Cup kind of exclusive hoodie. Would you like one of those things? Would you like one of the crazy World Cup shirts that we have? You can totally get your hands on one. Head on over, retailroad.com. Get yourself a nice shirt. We've got some hoodies. We've got hats. We've even got the little drone that's the battle bus. It looks amazing. The top balloon is actually the drone, so you've got the bus that's literally flying around. You best believe I'm going to pick one up and mess around with my family. They're not ready for it. But there you go. There's some on your screen. Also, that Drift shirt, by far my favorite piece of merchandise ever. Those of you that really do know me, you know I love Drift. He's easily my favorite character. But just some cool things. If you're looking to get some World Cup exclusive thing, go ahead and take a look. Now, for those of you who have also been watching kind of all 10-week qualifiers long, you know we love Golden Boy. And there's actually one thing specifically he was kind of telling people as we were going through interviews. And that was, hey, when we get to New York, you're going to be in my hometown. Let's catch up and get a slice of pizza. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Zeke, what about like everyone else? Why is it just Golden Boy? Well, he's a Golden Boy and he's selfish and he wanted the pizza off for himself. Get called out. That's right. Now the world knows. But a few of those players actually took us up on the offer. They went out for some pizza. They had a night on the town. So let's take a look together and check this out.
New York City. We got the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, the Empire State Building, and the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. I couldn't be more excited about the greatest Fortnite players from around the world coming to my hometown to duke it out. But before the action started, I took World Cup qualifying players Aiden and Chinkin out to show them the Big Apple, starting with PC Gaming Cafe, Waypoint.
What's up, boys? Hey. Welcome to Waypoint. Good to see you. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. All right, fellas, let's go and grab a drink.
Let's go.
All right. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here in my hometown, New York City. Thoughts on it so far? Chinkin, we'll start with you.
Hot, a lot of people.
Yeah. Hot and a lot of people. I'm sorry, but also, welcome to New York. That's kind of the way it is out here. Where are you from in Austria?
Austria, like I'm near Salzburg.
And the population?
40K.
I think it was like 40,000 people in the train that you were in on the way here.
Probably.
Yeah, so
there was so many people.
Now I want to talk about the competition at hand because obviously this is going to be the biggest opportunity, I would imagine, of your lives. You're going to be playing in front of a massive crowd. Is there a way as a player that you prepare for that?
I don't think like there's a way to like prepare for it.
Yeah.
But try to like calm down, not get like nervous, not get shaky and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we should be good. Like
it's still crazy having like a live crowd.
Yeah.
I try not to take tournaments like too seriously. If I play relaxed, I feel like I do better. I remember when everyone's like, this guy looks like he's just chilling on his couch at home, the casters, and it was like, I was just relaxed, and I feel like I played better.
Okay. So gentlemen, we're going to be heading off to some different sites around the city. We're going to go to Washington Square Park, so let's go and check it out. All right, so now here we are in Washington Square Park, gentlemen. And I love the fact that we've conveniently set this up. I don't know what these pieces would symbolize.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. Is it like king or queen? While we have this here, let's talk about competition. You guys are potentially going to be facing off against each other. Have you thought about that now?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the L2 spam like.
Oh, you don't want to feel the L2 spam?
I've watched them play a little bit. Him and Stompy, they're very like, I've seen them play aggro before. It's pretty scary. So if you have chemistry where you can play without even talking, you guys know what you're gonna do. That's like team like that's going to win. So
what you guys are going to experience this weekend, this is the first Fortnite World Cup. You're going to be playing for millions of dollars potentially. Has that even set with you guys yet?
even if it's not me, I'm thinking there's going to be millionaires after this tournament. There's going to be millionaires.
Life-changing money.
I try not to be, I'm not like greedy about it or anything. It's really nice to see like people that nobody know about and they could just blow up off of this.
All right, I'm going to dive more into that, but I think it's time to get a slice of pizza.
Take you out for a good pizza.
We'll get some pizza.
To give everyone pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna show up with 2 giant boxes of pizza. Say I won't, Bala. Say I won't.
And I kept telling people, hey, I want to get a slice of pizza with you. You know, all the players, and they all ignored me. You know? So thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Obviously, this has been an incredible journey for you all. You're now on the precipice of one of the biggest events in the history of all competitive gaming.
I'm happy that it was a fair chance for everybody, you know, open qualifiers.
Yeah.
You could have no exposure, but if you're good, you get in the tournament. So yeah, I'm just really thankful to be here, and I'm going to enjoy my time here.
Yeah, we just try to like make our fans happy. I'm really looking forward to play on the stage in front of 100,000 people.
Do you feel like the fans and how they've been supporting you all on this road to this, do you feel like that adds a little bit to this pressure?
Honestly, it gives just more support for me. I feel more like happy to be here when there's all these people, whether they're rooting for me or other players. Fortnite's grown so much, and I just can't wait to see all like the crowd, and I know it's going to get bigger and bigger every event. So,
fellas, best of luck at the Fortnite World Cup this weekend. Seriously, nothing but the best for you. But we're in the thick of things here in New York, so I think we got to get some more pizza. You guys down? All right, let's do it.
New York's got everything, and this weekend, most importantly, it's got the Fortnite World Cup. Now that these two have had their slice, let's see how they handle the competition.
Good guy, golden boy. You gotta love him. You can't not. He's just the best, and it's really cool that he got to go out, hang out with Aiden, get some pizza, and, you know, just tour New York. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now, guys, there is actually a dynamic duo that we want to talk to. We actually have Jordan Fisher standing by. He's going to be chatting with Nix and PF Zin. These guys qualified back from the Brazilian region, and they've got some things to say. So, Jordan, let's go over you.
Thank you, my friend. I've got Nix and PF Zin here. Nix, you have been absolutely dominating in the last few weeks, especially where the solos and the duos are concerned, being the first Brazilian player to qualify for the World Cup. Can you talk to me a little bit about the dynamic that the two of you share as partners?
Nix, você estava dominando nas últimas semanas, principalmente para os qualifiers da World Cup. Você pode falar um pouco sobre a dinâmica de vocês?
Eu e o PFzinho costuma jogar bem agressivo e tentar pegar o máximo de eliminações possível.
PF Zin and I, we try to play as aggressively as possible and get as many eliminations as we can. As you should
in the name of Battle Royale. Right now, PF Zin, you seem to balance out the fiery kind of loose cannon nature of Nix, who is obviously a dominant player, kind of helping him set up for a solid in-game. What's it been like to work with such a young and fiery player like Nix?
PFzinho, você parece que você consegue contrabalançar o estilo bem incendiante do Nix. Então, como é que é isso para você fazer esse lado mais balanceado da dupla?
Basicamente eu tenho uma role de suporte, então eu meio que fico nas backlines e ele vai na frente. Quando a gente tem o high ground, por exemplo, ele tem a função de ficar embaixo matando todo mundo e eu controlando o high ground. Basicamente é um lado mais estratégico, enquanto ele é o lado mais agressivo.
Basically, I have more of a support role. Whenever we're in high ground, I'm just more in the background, supporting him. He has a more aggressive role.
Setting him up.
Yeah.
To fire the loose cannon at the end. It reminds me of the very W key in a West that I play on all the time, and that has really, just got me cranking my 90s on a regular basis. You know about that courage, right? Am I right? Back to you.
Whoa. Jordan, it's back to me. Come on, Courage, he's just found the chicken parmesan. Someone whispered the word and he went running. You hate to see it. Also, big shout out to Nix and PFZen. I actually chatted with Nix very quickly. He walked up and was like, "Hi, I'm Nix." And I'm thinking, this guy knows how to talk. So I talked a bunch of stuff, told him how much I loved him. Turns out he didn't understand any of it. So I had to get a translator and tell him that I love him. But that's how things go. Now, of course, guys, I know what you want. You want more games. We have 4 more on deck. So I think for now, we're going to send it back up to Golden Boy and Monster. They're going to get us into these games. So how's DJ Mike Realm? Play us in.
All right, huge shout out to DJ Mike Realm, spinning the 1s and 2s here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Golden Boy alongside Mastiface, Boricua Boys back at it again, looking to bring you the fun as we have games 3 and 4 on deck. And so far, this has been one of the most exciting events I've ever been to. That game 1 was ridiculous. Game 2 did not disappoint as well, Monster.
No, it didn't. I thought for a second there we're going to see back-to-back performances from Zayt and Sap. And I mean, we honestly did. Everyone that was in the top 10 contestant, even Miz and Daedra, they were performing. We saw them cut it all the way through. And it's that level of consistency that's going to cut the difference in making it all the way through the top 10 and being a World Cup winner.
What I've loved seeing is that standings page, top 10. International through and through. You got the Japanese players popping off, European players popping off, players from New Zealand. Everyone's putting in every little bit they can. But folks, it's now time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back, and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zetro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zextro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then tragedy struck as Zextro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm going to make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zextro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zayt and Sap. But anyways, in here we have UN KVB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one. But there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above. And he just kind of turns a corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. Got a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zextro now looking to engage in this one. Potentially here is going to have... We're going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here, I think, for the players as well. That moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up? Do you change your drop spots? These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now, Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nix, PFZen earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, Scram. They're going to be on the hunt for him, so they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel the tension, specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players, these guys qualified, and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to like literally qualify as hard as you can in the, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. And then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations, but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nyx and PFZin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nyx and PFZin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance. He's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crims now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially. Got some shots going off. Crims is going to play that overlook position. Getting challenged there and trying to use that advantage from the download. A little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if he can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crims. Guy does back away there. Does manage to build out. And Spades is going to force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So Spades and Crims are doing a great job here pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not let them get any kind of movement there. I mean, Jamside and 7SSK7, they're looking, they're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and Spades are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jamside. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified, they were kind of looked down on like, wait a second, was it luck? Was it not? No, they're here to show it off and show why they're at the World Cup Finals. But now, hopping back with Miz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just piping up these players at these points of interest, and looks like Lucky Landers is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. Miz and Daedra, they linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there, so you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though. Miz needs to be careful. Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So what they have to do, they have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent? Catch a nice little low ground peek right here. Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here. So he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot. What are they going to do? It's just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on. But Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining and just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Gustavo's out wishy isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points.
Smirky
feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle and this other
but we haven't seen him necessarily make it through the end game. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that safe approach to the game, and then others that just want to take early fights, get some points early on, because maybe they're playing that early game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great, but you do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2, we were at circle 5, circle 5. I think we were sitting at like 45, 46 players. They're just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players. That's feeling back. But Crew and Chapels, one of my picks to watch, have sort of been struggling in the format so far. I guess when the real pressure's on, the environment shifts, right? Everything changes.
That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does manage to get that shot off, or attempted to, with that tactical shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary there, but it did put the fear in the player to have to back away. Both players, respecting the space from one another. The stinkers come out. Crew and Chapix having to get out of there, and they're going to use those, I believe, the shockwave nades to just fly on out of there. Didn't see the purple over their bodies there, but they were able to fly on out of that fight. Could have gotten real risky for them.
I was going to say, that was a respectful disengage. You only got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and end game. So good on them to kind of back up. And when you have stinkers, there's no defense against it. You get chunked down right through your builds. It really is annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, here you go.
Yeah, you're only going to get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale along with 40R Storm. This is a Week 10 qualified duo. Last moment you could possibly have it happen, and they managed to pull it off. Maybe this could be the game for them. Another dominating duo in the scene, Airwalks and Nikov. Airwalks winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is a whole new ball game. Best players in the world in this lobby. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and he knows that. It hasn't been the best run thus far for Airwalks and Nikov.
Yeah, and it was their last final games there. Notice the text right there. The fast track Airwalks and Nikov qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's intense. They were struggling so close on the cusp every single weekend, so close to qualifying. If it was 5 placements, they were 6 or so like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been traded out as well. He's already gone.
Also going to see some eliminations over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Mend. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there, so we'll be out of the action. as well. Crew by himself has one elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last minute loot perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you going to do with it? Crew's still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184! Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right. When you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious, the young player there from Sweden, 15 years of age, man, and he's playing for millions of dollars. So many of these players, they're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got a few of the veterans. Zexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Frank Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our game 2 winners, Zexro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's the aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players to actually qualify for this weekend. This is a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game.
Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Zip right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there.
Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're going to have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously, Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd popped for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
Right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. Going to get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. Yeah, that was going to be Fwexy.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used his shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
Not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. He's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that happen, half out circle, and it's two duos are going to be inside of there, so everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team we want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly going to make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of getting beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel were shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You are not safe from the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it when you're getting down to these final moments. 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. They shouldn't be comfortable just yet, because anything can happen here. Look at where that next circle is going to be going. Moves need to be made.
With that RPG, I mean, they can basically take high ground at any given moment that they want nor choose. Calculator looking around, already on 4 eliminations for Macwood. Macwood did say he's the fragger of the duo. We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there is no fun and games to be had. This is Game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
And look at that, wasting no extra mats. They do not waste more than they have to.
This was earlier on. An elimination onto Mongrel and Mitro. There you have it. Out of the game once again. That duo, European powerhouse, going to pay there to Dubs and Mega.
So far, so good. Macwood, again, just holding this positioning right here. He is going to get blocked out with his teammate accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well, Monster. 4 eliminations for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Have to be careful there. And there you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zate is going to wrap up rope here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos that's going on in the mid-ground specifically.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place. If they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Zate's going to be out of this one, so now it's going to be up to Saf. And Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be to the Storm there. Now looking at Mega, who's waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of your screen, you can see it down low, that these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Zafe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be. They're still putting this pressure down. And Zaf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself because Zexro is down. And now Oslo, Bad Sniper, one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations with Oslo here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still owning the high ground on the mid. Down below, Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkram just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkram down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds potentially. I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this fight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
This isn't looking good there. Mega and Dubs, they have the low ground, the ultimate low ground. Oslo's going to be outside, but they get the elimination. Calculator and Macwood, they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale. 19 points for that duo. Crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout. Seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Hey, shout out to Calculator too. He got a couple at the end.
Yeah, he had his back. Most importantly, Dubs and Mega constantly playing that defense. Credit to Macwood and Calculator for the way that they continue to apply the pressure. And then it was the shock, sending them down low, forcing them into that engagement. Credit to Oslo now, who threw traps instantly to see maybe he can get a cheeky trap elimination. Didn't work out for him there, but a top 3 placing for him. Certainly got to be happy with that one. And then it came down to the final moment when Calculator and Macwood together were able to push his player with their combat shotties. Boom, that's the game. And look how happy they were there.
So good. Gotta love their reactions right there.
Whew. What a game that was. Had a little bit of a slow ramp up, you know.